What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seatbelt.
So with the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 now just 1 week away, it's starting to make these Nintendo haters really nervous. A lot more nervous than usual. Now, before we get things started, we're still on the road to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're into Nintendo Switch 2 content and you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so you know when I am making a new video, which is usually every day. And if you like the video, leave a like on it. And also let me know what you guys think in the comment section about the topic. So these Nintendo haters are a lot more nervous and a lot more anxious than usual. And part of that is the fact that they were waiting for certain games such as GTA 5 to be able to play this year. That was their go-to. And that was the game that, with all else fails, well, at least we get GTA 6 this year. Well, now that that's no longer coming this year, and there isn't really a whole lot of games announced for the end of the year, which will change in the next week or so. But the quality of those games and which games being announced is still a mystery. Yet, on the Nintendo side, we know certain big games that are coming to our brand new system this year. In addition to even more games that are going to be announced in the next week or so. So we're fine. But the Nintendo haters, not so much. Because they don't really know what they're going to be playing this year. But that's not the big reason why they are so nervous about the Switch 2. The thing that's making these people so nervous about the Switch 2 is the fact that now we're finally seeing what these third-party games look like on the Switch 2. And they look really good. Maybe a little too good for Nintendo haters' taste. And they're doing a lot of nitpicking and trying to dig up a lot of stuff to try to make the Switch 2 look negative. Try to put a negative image on the Switch 2. Even more so than in the past. Like they're getting really nervous and they're using really underhanded tactics and photoshopping and stuff, just weird stuff. And the reason why that's happening is because these haters are starting to realize the truth. When they're seeing these comparisons of the Switch 2 games versus the PlayStation 4 version, the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox Series S, and even the PlayStation 5. And a lot of these games, such as Cyberpunk, are holding up extremely well. And it's making them nervous because they're finally realizing the truth. One, that the reason they're surprised is because they don't know anything about technology. And two, the fact that the Switch 2, in its portable hybrid form, mobile form, where you can be played on the TV, you can be played anywhere, and it still happens to look quite similar, not exact, but quite similar to even the PlayStation 5 version and the Xbox Series S versions of games. It's making them realize the hard truth that maybe, just maybe, their babies, their systems, aren't really getting as much graphics out of them as they could be. And maybe they're just simply getting taken to the bank. Because I'm sure that before the Switch 2 was shown, these people were under the impression that these games were pushing their systems hard. They're getting the most out of these systems. Yeah, no. People are slowly realizing that in order to get graphics that look way better than PlayStation 4 on console requires spending a lot of money on resources. And a lot of these developers and publishers simply either can't afford to do it or won't do it because you guys will eat it up anyway. It's funny that these Nintendo haters are always talking about, oh, well, you know, these Nintendo guys, they'll buy anything. We don't care if the graphics are good or not. It's funny because while Nintendo systems may be behind tech-wise, at least they try to push the tech that is there. You guys got all the tech in the world, and it's not being pushed. You don't think that there's a problem that the only game now that you can think of, that you can say without a shadow of a doubt that you believe won't come to the Switch 2 is Grand Theft Auto 6. You don't think that that's a problem? If these systems were really being pushed to their limits, remember, these systems have been out 5 years now almost. If these systems were really being pushed to the limit, you really think that Grand Theft Auto 6 would be the only game that wouldn't be able to run on the Switch 2? Maybe, just maybe, these developers aren't really pushing these systems as hard as they've been telling you. And maybe the Switch 2 proves just that, because there's no reason for some of these games to look that close if that was indeed the case. And that is the realization that these Nintendo haters are starting to slowly come to, and it is pissing them off. Nobody wants to think that they purchased something expensive and it's not being properly taken advantage of. But guess what? That's probably what happened. You guys honestly, they have a PlayStation 5 Pro. Do you honestly think they pushed the PlayStation 5 the furthest it could go? Like, come on. Just come on. They came out with a PlayStation 5 Pro because they knew you niggas would buy it anyway. They've been coming out with nothing but PlayStation 4 Plus looking games, and y'all ate it up. And they said, oh, well, we'll come out with an even more powerful system that's even more expensive, and you guys will still buy it and hype it up. And you did. I'm telling you guys, the more these Switch 2 games come, this is just the beginning. The more Switch 2 games come out, the more seats will be had. And you guys can act surprised all you want, but you shouldn't, because I told you. I'm telling you. Told you then, and I'm telling you right now. There are going to be multiple cases, just like Cyberpunk. You've been warned. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. These guys are in their feelings.